How's it, everybody? Celtic here. We are back for another Dokkan Battle video. In today's video, we are kicking off the grand tour of the STR LR Special Beam Cannon Piccolo. We are running him on the majority Saiyan Saga team with the AGL, Vegeta, and Nappa for this. And I do apologize for the tardiness on this video. As I explained previously, it's been a very busy work week for me with a lot of things coming up this week. So we are a little late on this, but I'm kind of glad I decided to wait on doing this grand tour because, right, at least now we can do it with the Fizz Piccolo with him, which, you know, best partner, right? We're really going to see him flow very well through here. So, of course, we are kicking things off with Bio Broly here, of course. So, we are adjusting the way we do this. Rather than do all 11 fights that we usually like to do, I'm going to drop it down to just 3 major fights. And I think moving forward, this is how we're going to do it. So, we'll have Cellmax and Bio Broly as sort of the standard, right? Since those are the 2 last remaining fights, permanent fights that we've gotten. We will use those as the standard. We might, depending on the character, we might swap either Bio Broly or Cellmax for like one of the 11th anniversary battle fights, but it'll at least be 2 of those, and then 1 new Red Zone Kai. So at the time of the release of STR Piccolo, the Red Zone Goku was still available. So that fight will be in this video, so you can kind of see how he fares against this. I'm imagining that probably after all the Battle Hour and World Tournament stuff is done, we'll get a Red Zone or Supreme Magnificent Battle for the Saiyan Saga, in which case we'll definitely do another video for Piccolo here. So we got him here on turn 2. We're going to chuck him in slot 1 because he does have that 70% chance to dodge, and it's kind of our best shot here. And we do get the dodge very nice. Now, the only thing about doing that is we are losing his support, which is okay. It's not a big deal, right? Bio Broly is more about managing the fight so much as it is that building up. So there we go. All right, and then now we just got to let these guys get the attack. Hopefully we get the 12 key because that 12 key is the stack for them. They don't stack on the 18 key, which is silly, but there we go. Now I don't know how well we're going to be able to pull off the standby and or Goku and Piccolo's active. It's just very difficult to do in this fight because, right, Goku and Piccolo have to get hit a bunch of times, or we have to fall below 70%. And then, of course, STR Piccolo can't activate his standby till turn 4, which means we may not even, we can probably go into standby, but we probably aren't going to see it actually fire, but we'll see. So I'm going to try to save a turn here if we can, just because of the low amount of damage we've done thus far. I'm going to save a turn. Hopefully we get the dodge, and Goma can actually attack here, as well as, you know, save his damage reduction. No support on the Vegeta for the AGL and Rainbow Orb, but that's okay. All right, here comes the super, and we do get the dodge. Very nice. Okay, which means we do get some damage out, and now as long as Vegeta gets his damage out, we'll be good. Perfect. All right, not bad on the damage there. Now, hopefully Vegeta can pick it up a little bit here. Excellent. We get 1 more for 28 million. No crit, though. Get another one, 34. I do love that 150% jump that he does. It ends up being really nice if you can proc it a bunch of times. 44 million. Excellent. All right, and we do tank, and out comes Raditz here. All right, I love the redemption arc Raditz is on right now. Like, he went from worst unit ever to a god. Like, it's pretty amazing. All right, excellent, and we get the dodge. And now, okay. So we can actually stand by our Piccolo here. So that's what we're going to do. So we're going to pop him into standby here. Okay, didn't quite change the orbs I want. Okay, but let's do that. There we go. So we can start building that, and now we can kind of see what Goku is going to do here. Remember, Goku needs STR orbs in order to get his full offense and damage reduction. Now, we are going to pop the Nappa here because it's our safest option to ensure that we get through, right? Because nobody's living that. Unless I want to try to dodge it again with Piccolo, but yeah, nobody's living Bio Broly's super here. Okay, 200k, not bad. All right, so now we're going to get some more build-up out of the Goku and Piccolo. Hopefully, yeah, we might not actually be able to use their special beam cannon here. All right, just looking at the amount of damage that's probably going to come through. All right, not bad on Goku, though. We want to get no additional. Okay. All right, nice. Okay, so now on this turn, we will go ahead and pop the Goma. But first, let's collect all those orbs. The nice thing about having a giant form during these fights is you can collect up orbs, giant form, and then add the orbs you collect after the giant form to your total. So it's just little free extra orbs for Piccolo's standby here. Excellent. Okay, but we do got to kind of plan this out carefully. I do want to make sure we can at least get that 18 key with Goma. So we have to make sure we're taking the right orbs here. All right, yeah, let's grab that. Okay, let's try to set up these tech orbs here. Okay, and then drop that. All right, perfect. That lined up nicely for us. Now here comes Bio Broly Super on the giant form. All right, not a whole lot of damage coming out of the giant form, but that's okay. We don't really need a whole lot of damage. We just need to do what we're going to do here. Excellent. All right, one last attack in here. And out of the giant form. Okay, so now let's go ahead so we can float Raditz, right? And that'll give us the 3-turn supports. And then I guess, I mean, Goma should tank the normals here if he decides he doesn't want to dodge. All right, let's pop that. Okay, not bad. 80 mil. Okay, changing the wrong rainbow orbs. I don't think we're ever going to get this dude's support. Okay, let's grab that. And then, ooh, there we go. Nice little 8 orbs right there for Raditz. And yeah, we do tank the normals. So hopefully we don't have to come back to this turn and deal with the extra damage. All right, excellent. We get an additional super. Oh, we get one more. And this is the Vegeta active turn, so we can do a little bit of damage here. Yeah, another one. And another one. Perfect. One more. Ooh, 54 million. You love it. All right, and nice little tanking there. And Raditz, perfect. Okay, so we actually, so technically we can use Goku standby on the next turn. We might actually do that just to kind of see how much we do. I don't think we're going to do a whole lot here because it's only one turn of collecting orbs. But let's see how this goes. And we did not take enough damage either to use Goku and Piccolo's active. So let's see here. Looking at the field. Okay, so you know what we do? We put Raditz in front because Raditz is a boss and he can just straight up tank Bio Broly. There we go. Put 6 there. And then let's see how much damage we can do with the standby. All right, 99 mil, not too bad, not fully maxed out either. All right, and then we'll get a little bit of support by grabbing those in the third slot. Okay, so I don't think we're gonna have another turn after this. Raditz gonna eat this for double digits. I love that. What a redemption arc. All right, and we get our third attack with Goku and Piccolo here. Okay, we get an additional super with 30 mil. And remember, this is stacking their attack. So it is a shame that we couldn't actually use their active, because once you go into Piccolo, they skyrocket in attack. Like, it's insane. We do get the additional third super. And now STR Piccolo should finish the job here. Not bad, 40 million, and that should do the trick. Oh, not quite, but we do get the additional normal, and that does the trick. Alrighty, so there is round one up against the Bio Broly. Not too bad of a fight for the Piccolo. Honestly, it's probably one of his easier fights. It is a little rough though, just because it's, it's a short fight, so you don't really get to utilize his potential with the standby. So let's go ahead. We're gonna pause. We're gonna come back into the Cell Max fight. All right, so we are loaded into Cell Max here. We have pretty much the same team, except with two exceptions. We brought in Tech Daimogoku and Achiyoko Vegeta just to kind of help manage Cell Max Super C. Unfortunately, this is definitely one of Piccolo's hardest fight, and not because of Piccolo himself, but rather because of his leader, the Vegeta. The Vegeta just cannot deal with Cell Max's supers, and I do apologize for not getting Vegeta's Grand Tour out soon enough. Again, like I said, I just had a really, really rough week at work. Too much to do. I will end up putting it out still. It's going to be a little bit behind, and I know most of you guys probably won't even watch it, but it'll be there just so it's there for reference sake, for people. Excellent. All right. Yeah. So basically the trick for this one with Vegeta is put him in slot 1, because he can tank on his active, right, which you're going to have to use right away. On his active, he can tank slot 1 normals, and just pray that Cell doesn't super before he attacks. Oof. Okay. Why did we not counter? We really need those counters, right? That is the trick for this. We need those counters. Ooh. Alrighty, and we get an additional super on the Gogeta. Alright, kind of a little bit of damage, but I mean, that's to be expected with this kind of rotation that we got. We are going to have to rely heavily on Gogeta and Daimogoku to do the bulk of our damage for this fight, just because it takes Piccolo and Goku and Piccolo and Vegeta just too long to get to a point where they can deal big damage. It's mostly for them just surviving, as these other two are going to do the big hits. Cell Max is a rough fight for the Saiyan Saga team, just in general. And it's mainly just dealing with that AoE super. Although pre-super, Goku and Piccolo can actually handle it pretty well. All right, here we go. Now Vegeta tanks that. We do get the counter on Gogeta. There we go. All right, big damage coming out of our counters, and that's really what we want to see. Excellent. Alrighty, so for turn 2 here, once again, same thing. We're going to pop that active for Vegeta just to get the extra defense to help us live the supers. Alright, unfortunately no support this turn. Grab that. So we'll still be able to proc Goma's passive since there is an AoE here. So he'll proc his getting hit first passive. All right, no damage there. We do get an additional super though. One more. Nope, that's a normal. One more. There we go. And there goes the AoE. Dodge. And Goku and Piccolo do tank it. Very nice. Okay, so 50 million here on the Goma. That's nice. Additional super. Yeah, there we go. And here comes the super. So Vegeta should tank since it is post super. Yep, double digits. We dodge with Goma. And 100k on Goku and Piccolo. So not bad. Alright, nice. We get the additional attack stack. No damage, though. Ooh, that's rough. All right, and then here comes the next super. So Goku and Piccolo might take a little bit of damage here, but we'll see. Double digits, dodge, 240. Oof, okay. All right, but now we can kind of protect ourselves here. Yeah, this is going to be tough. Yeah, that's not going to help anything. Okay, so I think we put double. That's it, just 2. 1. Okay, so we will at least want to switch into Vegeta for the 1, I guess. Excellent. Okay, so how much damage do we do here? Not terrible. Okay, let's see. All right, so we're going to switch into Nappa, because Nappa, when you go into Nappa on his first turn, he will be able to live the super. So we got that going for us. Okay, not quite enough to get to the 24 key, but enough to get our support. There we go. All right, and then we'll be able to attack with Nappa. All right, and we get the dodge, and then there we go, tank. So the reason I'm letting Gogeta attack first is so he can get his attack raises, and then he can be able to deal more damage on his counter. The 2 artificial life forms for the Piccolo, it's really a matter. You're not going to be able to use the standby effectively. It's really just a matter of surviving so you can get through and see how he does. Which I guess, I mean, not that you would ever intentionally want to use him in this fight. He's just not good for them. But at least you can know he can live, or at least dodge. I guess there's that. Okay, what is with the not countering? All right, here we go. All right, so not a whole lot of damage here. Excellent, more damage. And there goes the counter. See, that's what I needed earlier. Oof. Okay, oh, but you know what? Actually, we lived, though. That's actually pretty impressive. He lived the super. So, I mean, I guess we did get to see something useful out of this. Alrighty, Nappa does his thing. There we go. Alright, so let's pop the giant form here. There we go, we get that active going. nice. Okay, the giant form might actually kill here. I don't think I've ever actually had that happen. So you know what? That'll be cool if we get that. Alright, there goes the super. Okay, maybe not. They're not doing a whole lot of damage here. But that's okay. We do have Tech Mini Gokus active on standby here, so we got that going for us. Hey, we actually procced an additional here. Still not enough damage to actually do anything, but just cool. And here comes the last super. Alrighty, and now let's just go ahead and wrap this up with Tech Mini Gokus active here. Perfect. All right, so Cell Max done. This one definitely required a lot of RNG, a lot of reset, a lot of, you know, pray to the gods that Vegeta doesn't get supered first. Honestly, Piccolo doesn't do too bad. As we saw there, he can live post-super, and otherwise he has 70% chance to dodge. So he himself honestly doesn't do too bad here. Not a great fight for him just because it's too short for him to actually utilize what he's meant to do effectively, but at least you know he can live. So I guess there's that. All right, so let's go ahead and let's go on into the final fight here against the Super Saiyan 3 Goku. All right, so we are loaded here against the Super Saiyan 3 Goku. Again, the way I'm going to structure these from now on is one Red Zone Kai plus Bio Broly and either Cell Max or one of the 11th anniversary battles. I think that'll be the best way to kind of get a really good feel of what he's capable of. I don't really know that we have the continued time to continue doing every single boss in a single video. It does eat up a lot of time for me personally, and just right now with the way things are, it's difficult, but I think we can manage this. So here, let's do this. Let's send Piccolo over to the other rotation. Okay, let's grab that. We do want to kind of stall a little bit. I will say that. So as best we can, we will. Excellent. We get an additional super. All right, so the main thing was I needed Reddits to dodge there in slot 1, and he did do that. So perfect. All right, and then now we're going to start getting the supers on Vegeta. With Piccolo in slot 3, he is supporting both Raditz and Vegeta here. So let's see. Yeah, I guess we'll get him over there with the Piccolo and Goku, and we'll just kind of keep them together for this fight. All right, not bad on the offense there. Excellent. One more. We get an additional super. I love it. Alrighty. Ooh, nice little setup too for Fizz Orbs for Goku and Piccolo. So we're actually going to put him in slot 1 here so we can get that hit in first. And then we're going to send off Goma. Yes, we do lose a turn of build up for Goma, but I do think it is better in the long run that we set it up this way. I want to keep Goku and Piccolo together for as long as I can. All right, excellent. Additional super with Piccolo and Goku. All right, and then now Vegeta's turn. All right, not bad. 29 mil. Okay, perfect. So our stall tactic is working out. So we'll be able to enter here with Goku and Piccolo and with STR Piccolo together and keep them together. Perfect. Okay, so how do we do this one? Oh, actually, this is a tough one. I feel like I don't want to waste Fizz Raditz's slot 1 turn. But at the same time, I don't know really who else we put in slot 1. I think we're going to have to do it. Let's just do it. Let's do that. Again, still no with the AGL orbs for Vegeta, but that's okay. All right, very good. Okay, there goes the attack. Okay, so probably a good thing we put Raditz there. All right, and now, there we go. All right, Vegeta. One more. Okay, we are actually taking our time with this fight a lot more than I anticipated. There you go, 40 mil, nice. Oh, we get another one? Oh, but that's a normal. Okay, so I think Tech Raditz can probably finish this off. One more? No, okay. Craziest stall tactic on Earth. Okay, and look, we can even stand by now. So let's go ahead and do that. We got 10 turns to work with. We may as well stand by as soon as we can. All right, let's grab that. Let's grab that. Now, the reason I'm only grabbing the 1 is to get them to attack with their 12 key. Never mind, I forgot their hit gives them key. Never mind. All right, well, I guess we'll attack with that, which means no 12 key stack this turn. Alrighty. Okay, so that takes us into the... Honestly, I think this is the harder phase of the fight, the end phase, because the way he builds when we attack him, plus the build he gets per turn, makes for a really rough fight here. Okay, so let's see. Okay, we float Raditz. We try to hold Goma as long as we can. There we go. Finally get that support with the AGL Vegeta, finally. All right, perfect. All right, additional super. Nice. And Vegeta. Okay, so okay, we got to keep collecting the spheres. We do have 10 spheres to work with, but I do know from the fight, if you guys saw our showcase, right, even in the baby fight, which is incredibly long, we still didn't get enough orbs. So we got to be kind of careful about how we manage these turns to get enough orbs to actually see that standby do some good damage. All right, nice job, Raditz. 41 million, perfect. All right. Raditz, you are just crazy, man. Okay, so now for the trick, huh? Who can we put slot 1? I think we can probably get away with it. Let's try it. Ooh, there we go. 7, that's what we want. Perfect. 7. And then we could, 11. Look at that. So we're going to get some good numbers out of Goku here. All right, 5, 5. Okay, it looks like 5's the best we got here. Perfect. Not bad. Not bad. Not bad. All right, we get another stack on the Goku and Piccolo. Ooh, and we get one more. Oh, that means we're going to have a fun time when we finally do the exchange. Oh, man, I was hoping for one more there. All right, and then here comes the super. So how do we take the super from him? Oof, 700k, a little bit more than I care. 62 million on the Goku. Beautiful. All right, but we live. All right, and I guess that's what matters. Nice. Get one more. And oh, okay, not quite enough to take him down, which means we got to play we're going to have to float somebody off that I don't know necessarily we wanted to do. I guess we just keep the Vegeta there, right? We float off. Yeah. There we go. Although putting Goma in slot 1 would definitely ensure that we came a lot closer to victory here, but okay. Alright, so of course it's the turn 1 Nappa, and we're going to tank double digits. Nice. Alright, and we don't have to worry about stuns here either. That's real nice. One more? There we go. Okay, come on. Where are those crits, man? We need those crits. One more. There it is. There it is. Come on. Oh, and boom. Alrighty. So there it is. We got the int phase down, which is usually the tricky one. And now on to the AGL phase, where I think we pretty much got this in the bag. Especially when we still have, what, 3 more turns of standby left? Okay, so let's see here. Oh, that's actually tough. Who do we put in front? All right, let's let them go first. Ooh, and we get some good STR orbs, so hopefully Goku and Piccolo can tank the super here. Let's pop Raditz is active here. Since we're floating him off anyways. Grab that. Alright, nice. They do tank double digits. Okay, and I think with this onslaught of attacks, they will have enough to transform regardless next turn. Beautiful. Okay. So not a whole lot of big damage this turn, but that's all right. I mean, these guys stack, right? So we know that this form is obviously a lot weaker. Once we transform into just Piccolo by himself, it's going to get a little bit better. Hey, how much damage does STR Goku got? We got a little bit. 55. All right, not bad. Okay. All right, hey, we got a little bit of a dodge here. And then now Raditz on that active skill turn. All right, another super out of Raditz. Come on, where are those crits at? Okay, one more. Come on, give us a crit on this one. Oh, jeez. Okay, I feel like I need to adjust him to crit after all of that. Okay, so now we get the fun turn with the Nappa and Vegeta actives. So let's switch into Vegeta for this one. Let's switch into Nappa on this one so they both still have their Nappa act. They get their buff for the turn 1. Ooh, okay. Let's do that for Vegeta. Nice. Okay, and then can we get... Oh, and we're going to get the rainbow and the blue orbs. Perfect for that support. And then... Yeah, let's pop that active. Alright, and then let's grab that. Perfect. Alright, so there goes the target. There goes the normal. And there goes the super. Perfect. Alright, Dokkan mode. Let's go 1, 2. You know what? Let's just let it run.
Let's go.
Okay, not bad. Obviously, it would have been better if he was in slot 3, but we need Nappa to be in slot 3 so he can actually deal his damage after taking all of those hits. All right. Alrighty. 1. Yes. There we go. 49. Oh, it's taken us a while, but we are doing damage here, which is good. All right, and now how much do we do with the... Ooh, that's right, I forgot. 2 supers. Okay, nice. 100 mil there. Ooh, one more. 120. Okay, so we are dealing the good damage here. One more for 130. Nice. Perfect. Okay. So we have Goma's active, and you know the trick here. We want to grab everybody's orbs and then use the active. So let's see here. What do we do? Yeah, let's pop the Piccolo first. All right, not bad. Decent damage. All right, let's grab that. Perfect. And then 13. Nice. Okay, and then now we can pop that active. All right, no crit on the active skill, so yeah, let's just get through this. But we'll have plenty of orbs, but we should have one more turn of standby, but I don't know. We'll just go with what we got here. We'll take down with the giant form and then just use the remaining charges to build up. Yeah. Okay. Boom. Let's go. And one more. Excellent. Ugh. I hate seeing that do so little damage. That really should do. They need a way to make that thing do more damage. All right, 18 mil. Nice. I wish that we need to be able to just skip these giant forms altogether. Seriously, they're just not doing nothing. All right, here comes Goma with one last super. Again, not a whole lot of damage there, but enough. Let's see. Oof. Okay, yeah, we're definitely gonna have to use that standby this turn. Otherwise, we're not gonna see it after. There goes the second super. Not that it matters. We're in giant form. We take no damage. Alrighty. Okay, no more giant form here. Let's see. All right, I guess we put Goma here. That's the play. Okay, 6, 7. Okay, there we go. And then, okay, all right, we got some good amount of charges. Let's go ahead and let's end this right. All right, and let's pop it.
Sorry to keep you waiting. Prepare yourself. Special beam cannon!
All right, not bad. Did about a bar and a half there. So not terrible. Definitely a lot of work to put in to get that, but not terrible at all. I imagine in fights where we can carry out longer, more orbs, definitely going to be better. I think this team is also just hard for him on orbs anyways, so there's not any big major orb changers. Okay. Is Going going to finish this? Ooh, not quite. Okay, you know what? That's fine, because now Piccolo with 120 million is to wrap this up, so we'll take that. Alrighty, excellent. So there you have it. There is the grand tour for the STR Piccolo against the 3 major bosses. Again, I feel like for ground tours moving forward, this is how we're going to do it. We're going to do Cell Max and Bio Broly plus 1 Red Zone Kai. The next Red Zone Kai should be dropping in about a week. I imagine they just didn't want to drop it because of Battle Hour and, you know, World Tournament and everything that's happening this weekend. But for the next one, when it drops, we will add into the Grand Tour. Speaking of Grand Tours, we also missed out on the Vegeta Grand Tour. I will upload that sort of for, you know, my own repository here, so that way there is a reference if anybody wants to come back to it. I do apologize that it wasn't uploaded sooner, but honestly, it's kind of probably better now with they have a full fleshed out team that we can actually do that. But we'll definitely do a separate video paying closer attention to them. All in all, I do like the Piccolo. I really want good long events for him to be utilized properly, right? A 10-turn standby means we need at least 10 turns to build him up. And right now we just don't have that. So hopefully that comes soon sooner rather than later. But all in all, not a terrible card. I think they just need to really figure out how they're going to be balancing these standbys. Otherwise, really fun card to use. So guys, that is it for the video. If you like the video, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you have not already. And in the comments down below, let us know what did you think of the grand tour of the STR Piccolo here. And let us know if you still want to see the Vegeta one. Otherwise, guys, as always, thanks for watching and aloha.